How you doing? Uh, Thanks for tuning in. Uh, this is AskDomo, and let's see what we have. I have one that I have to pray over because sometimes people send me stuff, and I kind of know them, and I kind of know like who they're talking about, and it's kind of awkward because I don't want to be in the middle of anybody's drama, so I gotta wait a while for that one. Even though, yeah, whatever. So this today's reads, Dear Damo, the guy I'm dating is a huge Facebooker. We got we get off the phone and I have a message in my inbox with all of the things that he should be saying in person or at least on the phone. What is worse is that he barely talks when we are together. I have a feeling this is going to kill me. What should I do? Hmm. I guess that is a little weird. I mean, to me it seems like, well, I'm just freestyling. This is just what I do. I think some things are easier to write um, than they are to actually say. Um, and in addition to that, I think that there's some things that are easier to write rather than to say to certain people. Um, and so, the first thing that I would encourage you to do is to think about whether there's anything about you that would make somebody feel uncomfortable communicating with you on the phone or in person. So always think it's important to find out if there's anything that you can take responsibility for. Secondly, um, you also need to get to the root of the problem with this gentleman, why he would choose to email you over face-to-face communication. Is there anything in your relationship thus far that has set a precedence for this type of communication? What I mean by that is, have you ever done that? Or when he does that, do you respond? Or have you ever called him out on this type of behavior? Because if you have not, then in so many words or so many ways you have encouraged it. So taking responsibility for your own actions would be ideal, but also opening the lines of communication and asking him would be very important. Because if you do not ask him, then you will never know. Um, so try that. Um, in addition, um, I guess I would say that um, maybe you might want to also look at the types of things that he's saying on the phone and the things that he's saying in person versus the things that he's saying, um, you know, via Facebook or whatever. The truth is that we live in just a world where social networking sites um, have become. I mean, people get dumped on Facebook. People get engaged on Facebook. I mean, that is just the culture of Facebook where we live. Even this current generation, I don't know how old you are, but you know, people just dive into these social networking sites and they don't separate their being on these sites to like their being when they're not on the site. So you have to consider that, and you have to be fair, and you have to be rational, and just I think you can learn something from this as well about communication if you really try to dig deep. And I think it's important for women to make an effort to dig deep into the ways that men communicate, because to me it seems like women are never happy with the way that men communicate. Either they don't communicate enough, or they communicate too much, or they communicate in anger, or they're too sensitive, or there are all these problems surrounding the way that men communicate, and it seems like what you have is a good and a bad thing, because you have somebody that's communicating, they're just not communicating in the way in which you would like for them to communicate. So you need to identify why you have a problem with that. Is there any responsibility that you can take in that? And then you also need to create dialogue around that with your significant other, so that if there is a resolution, you both can come to it and you can continue in your relationship. So that's my advice. If anyone who is listening or reading has any question that you want to submit, you can email that to Domo Blogs, DOMO Blogs, BLOGZ at gmail.com. Please check out the website www.imdomo.com. Thank you, and we'll chat with you soon.